How sweet it is to be loved by you. Just kidding, I don't think really too many folks go onto this YouTube channel and say that they love LEGO Rocks 99 content. I mean, if you do, then I appreciate you. But today we are talking about the Swedes, baby! The Vancouver Canucks, and some of the Swedish studs that they have on this team. We're going to be talking about Elias Pettersson today. We're going to be talking about Nils Hoglander today. Because we actually do have ourselves some Swedish coverage to go over with these two guys, and they are both to varying capacities. For one, we are talking about the upcoming Olympic Games, and for the other, we're talking about practice facilities. Let's head over to this article posted on NHL.com, the Swedish version. This was posted by Peter Ekholm about a week ago. It was from last week. It was the same interview session where Elias Pettersson said that he wanted to have revenge on the NHL. But this article, also published on NHL.com, is a separate part of that interview. It doesn't dive into revenge. It talks about Team Sweden and how Elias Pettersson wants to create his own Olympic memories. The article was initially in Swedish, so we translated it to English via the Google machine. Let's go out there and read EP40's comments about heading over to Team Sweden. The Vancouver Canucks center's main Olympic memory comes from the last time the games were held in Italy. It was 2006 in Turin. Sweden won its second Olympic gold medal in hockey after a 3-2 victory over Finland in the final. A classic Swedish hockey event. Nick Lidstrom scored the game-winning goal, assisted by Matt Sundin and Peter Forsberg. But it was another Swedish hockey royalty that meant that Pettersson's career path could have taken a different path. In the final against Finland, Lundqvist played so well that he inspired a then 7-year-old Pettersson to want to stand between the posts the next day. Yeah, Elias Pettersson goalie origin story. How great is that, eh? It obviously didn't turn out to be a goaltending career. Instead, PD is now chasing a place in the upcoming Swedish Olympic squad as a forward. Here is the write-up. Pettersson was one of around 35 Swedish players who gathered in Stockholm on Wednesday to begin training and preparing for the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina in February. This will be the first time NHL players participate in an Olympic Games since 2014's Sochi Russia Games. Great fun. Fun to meet old teammates, Markstrom among others, and talk about what's to come, says Pettersson. The announcement that NHL players would be allowed to travel to Italy, represent their country, and fight for the most prestigious gold medal on the international stage was long awaited. After 5 consecutive Olympics in 98, 02, 06, 2010, and 14, NHL players have not participated in any Olympic Games. But when the NHL, the NHL Players Union, NHLPA, and IIHF and International Olympic Committee announced the news in February, the joy among the players who are part of the NHL was palpable. It was great fun when the news came. I've never played in the Olympics, so hopefully it will be incredibly fun, says Pettersson. Here are some of the other players here. Participating nations selected their first 6 players for the squad. Swedish national team captain Sam Hallam introduced Rasmus Dahlin, Victor Hedman, Adrian Kempe, Gabe Landeskog, William Nylander, and Lucas Raymond. When the rest of the squad is announced later this year, Pettersson hopes to be one of the names. Now, it's really interesting how Landeskog was tossed in there, considering his health status, but then again, leadership and everything, he's going to be in there regardless. Here's Elias Pettersson talking about playing for Team Sweden. It's always awesome. You have the entire population of Sweden behind you. And you know, when you stood in a sea of people cheering when Sweden played in the European Football Championship or something, so I guess people have the same feeling I have when they see us play hockey. It's insanely awesome, says Pettersson. He is one of the best offensive Swedish players in the NHL in his best moments, and with that comes a certain amount of pressure for those who follow hockey. If he plays in the Olympics, he knows the pressure will come from the entire Swedish nation who follow the games both on-site and at home from their TVs on the couch. It's just a good thing. So it's a privilege to have that kind of pressure on you. It's only good things we get to do, Pettersson says. So, of course, Petey is having a pretty good attitude towards playing in the Olympics, and the pictures did come out earlier in the week as well of Petey representing Team Sweden. He's got the flag, he's got the drip, he's got the Uniqlo. He's also got himself that little stare there. Okay, that's the death stare coming back for us. Like Haramaki was also invited for orientation camp as well. That's going to be super interesting to see if he has an outside shot of making the team. And then Marcus Pettersson, I think, is a reasonable bet to be on Team Sweden. Another name that could be in contention, depending on how well he performs this season, is Nils Hoglander. And the reason we are talking about Hoglander in today's commentary is because of the news of a Swedish practice facility. This is an article posted on svt.se, which is a Swedish website, and this post was talked about earlier on August 9th. A month earlier, ice in Mala, thanks to NHL star Nils Hoglander. Let's go out there and take a look at this right here. In Mala, a Swedish city, the public can skate in the middle of the summer, thanks to Nils Hoglander. The municipality laid the ice a month earlier than usual, and the bill is shared between the Hockey Association and Hoglander himself. It's a way to give back, Hoggy says. In order to be able to train at home during the summer, NHL pro Nils Hoglander contacted his parent club, Mala IF. We are very pleased that he showed interest and came back to his roots and inspired the younger generation, says Andrei Onelov, who is property manager at Mala Municipality, where they hope now that the previous opening will not remain a one-off. The price tag for the previous opening was approximately 60,000 SEK, but may be higher or lower depending on electricity prices. So, essentially, what's talked about here, Nils Hoglander helped fund ice to be laid in Mala so that he could go out there and practice on the ice earlier. That is a really philanthropic thing to do. This was posted onto the R Canucks sub, and it was translated by ChatGPT, confirmed by Papa Pandroni, who happens to be Swedish. Take a look at this. Hoglander bought himself a practice facility in Sweden. When an employee has their own practice facility, but his employer doesn't. Yes, but a practice facility is expensive. You'd have to be a billionaire or something to afford one in Vancouver. It's impossible. He should be putting that money towards a practice facility in the Vancouver area. Yeah, okay. Okay. Thanks, knee jerk. Thank you, Michael. But still, Nils Hoglander going out there and putting his own money where his mouth is, or putting his money where his feet are, I guess you can say. He wants to bounce back, man. This guy is putting in the work to have himself a season that is beyond 25 points and 8 goals in 72 games. He went from 24 goals to 1/3 of that the year after. Yes, everything was going in at even strength for Nils Hoglander in 23-24, but the season after, things took a very bad dip. And now, with some extended training, earlier months in Mala, this can be a very big opportunity for him to get back on the right track. So with all this in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these Swedish Canucks updates from Elias Pettersson and his commentary on playing for Team Sweden, as well as Nils Hoglander buying out some ice to be laid earlier. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.